Welcome back, everybody, to another Appreciating Comic Book Art video. And today we're going to be talking about the Wizard Jim Lee Tribute Edition. How many people remember this when they put this out? 1996. This is when Jim Lee was absolutely killing it. Wildstorm was awesome. Image was still going fairly strong. And they put out these tribute books. I don't know how many they did for all the other artists, but I do remember this Jim Lee one. And I found it in my collection the other day. And we are going to take a look at it. But before we do, if you like the content and you like this video, please hit the subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications, and share this on social media. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So yeah, this got a preview there for the Heroes Reborn Fantastic Four when Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld returned to Marvel and did their thing, and that was fairly awesome, I would say. But yeah, this is I've got a couple issues of this. I've got one in plastic that I never opened, and then this is the one I've kind of just read through over time. But yeah, this was back when Wizard was still fairly cool, I would say, before they went very, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, off the deep end. But this has, it's great. It covers kind of Jim Lee's career from the start all the way from Punisher War Journal. That was always an iconic shot. In Alpha Flight. He did Alpha Flight. But he did some great work on War Journal. Man, look at a young Jim Lee right there. Full of promise. Future's his, you know. He hasn't been bogged down by DC yet. Still doing some incredible things at Image Comics with Wildstorm. Finding amazing artists, putting out great books. Yeah. This was a time to be alive as a fan, as an inspiring artist. Following guys like this, you know. Jim Lee was very inspiring back in the day. All those guys were. Very inspiring to a young artist, young creator. And man, this is just a great collection of some awesome art. I mean, some great stuff from X-Men. I think this is a cover to X-Men 2. His run on Uncanny X-Men was great. And then his run on the X-Men was amazing. At least the first few issues were really good. And he started doing a little bit more breakdowns. Then Art T. Bear came on and really did a lot of finishing over him. It just did a fantastic job. It was just the great art was all awesome. I liked his Fantastic Four run. It wasn't the greatest to me because I've never been a huge fan of Fantastic Four, but I was very appreciative of that booty shot. And who wasn't? You know, the 14-year-old in me was just like, yeah, I'm gonna hide in my bedroom for a little bit. That's for sure. Got a little Will Portasio art in here as well. He did a really cool run, the Heroes Reborn as well, doing the Iron Man, Incredible Hulk stuff as well. His Hulk was interesting with the long hair, kind of gave it a different feel, different look. I almost wonder if they were inspired by Pitt, to be honest with you. We'll never know. We'll never know. Some J. Scott Campbell there with Gen 13. This was kind of, let's see. Here's what's on the horizon for your favorite Wildstorm book. So it's kind of a preview of what was going on at the time for Wildstorm. A little bit of all the books they're putting out. Wildstorm put out a lot of books. Them and Extreme Studios, I think, put out the most books for the longest time before Top Cow got up and running. Kind of jumped in there and started putting out a lot of books as well. I always love stuff like this. You know, when you did articles about the studios, about like Extreme Studios, Wildstorm, Top Cow, and you got to see like the behind the scenes of everybody, you know, because as a kid, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work in the bullpens at these companies. I wanted to be a part of these studios. So reading about what they would do on a daily basis and all that kind of stuff was really killer for me. Was that a quiz? A word puzzle? Oh shit, I don't remember that at all. At all. Okay, here we go. Jim Lee's Heroes and Villains. With that just epic zealot shot from Wildcats 5. The trifold fold-out page. Just beautiful shot. This is when Jim Lee was absolutely killing it. He came back after the Wildcats miniseries. Took a break, I think, between 4 and 5. Came back, and him and Scott Williams kind of really polished up their style quite a bit. A lot of the cross-hatching was gone. They went with a lot more of the harder shadows, you know, reflections in the costumes reflecting the light, and it was just a lot more of a clean style, but it was just beautiful, beautiful. I probably like the early stuff better, the cross hatching elements of Jim Lee's art, but there was no denying that he absolutely killed it on Wildcats 5, 6, 7. I think 8 was a fill-in issue. He had a couple guys finishing over his breakdowns, but then came back again 9, 10, 11, 12. And then he was off Wildcats. It was crazy. Just going over a bunch of his characters. So, although this is a Jim Lee tribute, that spent a lot of time looking at other artists as well, or just kind of going over the stuff that he's done. But it's a really cool book. It's almost a little bit more Wildstorm book than Jim Lee for the most part. But I think we're going to get into some Jim Lee stuff. Honestly, if I was going to show all these different characters, I would just show Jim Lee art. But, you want to highlight some of the other artists at Wildstorm. Wildstorm has some great artists, fantastic artists. There we go. There's a little bit of Travis Charest right there. I do believe. I don't see the signature, but I do believe that's Travis. Early Travis. It could be Brett Booth right there. Mark Texiera. Doesn't say. It actually doesn't say the artist of that. Just gives the characters. Cool, X-Men. Yeah. Man, do I miss Image Comics. Like old school Image Comics. I miss the studios. I miss these characters. This was my world right here. These characters were way more fun to me than anything that was going on at Marvel or DC at the time in the 90s. I still collected certain Marvel books and whatnot, but they were just fresh, awesome new characters. I miss it, man. I miss it a lot. 100%. So yeah, this is a fun book. It's a fun book to collect. I don't know if it's worth anything. Like I said, I've got a couple of these that are just in bags still, but I like having stuff like this in my collection. Wildcats 4 cover, one of my favorite covers. I think this is the Wildcats. Oh, what cover is that? 11? Maybe 11? Does it say? Am I just being stupid? Nope. Not even talking about that issue. All in the Family. Look at this. Look at all the people he had working. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the different Lees. I get it. I was about to say, these people didn't work at Wildstorm. Brandon Lee. Man. Him and his father, Bruce Lee. Such a tragedy. They both died tragically at a young age. What could have been? What could have been if they had kept going with their movie careers? Especially Brandon Lee was about to hit it big after The Crow. That movie would have sent him into stardom. Much like Heath Ledger dying with Dark Knight. If he hadn't passed away after Dark Knight, I think he would have really shot up as well into stardom. But yeah, it's interesting that this is I haven't looked at this for a long time. It's interesting that this is a Jim Lee tribute edition. But he spends more time actually talking about different projects and showing different art than actually Jim Lee art, now that I think about it. But it's still a pretty cool book. It's good to have in the collection. I don't know how many of the tribute editions they made for other artists, but I dig it. It's a definitely a trip down memory lane looking at this stuff. That's for sure. The 14-year-old me probably looked at this 1,000 times, just dreaming of one day being a comic book artist. So, all right, guys, appreciate you hanging with me for this video. I will talk to you all later. Have an incredible night. If I can stumble over my words, good Lord. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.